My name's Briana, and today I'm going to be walking you through 7 killer prompts to get you started on your AI journey. I am part of a company called Impact, and at Impact, we embrace a framework called They Ask, You Answer. So I have the privilege to be a content and video trainer, which has sparked my interest in AI and how we as marketers can apply it to our business for higher profitability and higher efficiency. Through that work, I have been put in the position of the AI strategic lead. And I'm here today to share all my tips and tricks and tools with you so you are confident and competent when starting integrating AI into your day to day. So, our goals for today: define your role with AI, see where you are, and also what are you going to do with that knowledge? What actionable next step can you start right away? That's what I want you focusing on as we walk through this presentation today. So, the first thing I want to talk about is a recent study from a company called Deloitte. I'm sure many of you have heard of this. And what they found is job seekers are changing. The job market is changing. With any new technology that comes out, it would be foolish of us to think that it's not going to impact job seekers and the job market in general. So take a look at what you're seeing on your screen: acquiring AI solutions. Businesses around the globe, 35% of them are purchasing as packaged solutions from different technology vendors. That's a big deal. And about 30% subscribe to different tools or rent different AI for their different efforts in their organization. But take a look at the last one there. 35% of employers would prefer to build this in-house. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So, acquiring AI talent is a real big thing in the job market today. And so, some of us may feel like, oh man, is this AI stuff going to go away? Do I really have to take this seriously? And the answer very loudly is yes. Yes, yes, and yes again. Please take this super seriously. Think about where you are personally and where you want to be. But most importantly, how are you going to get there? So, let's talk about that. In this study that Deloitte did of different employers all around the globe, they categorized levels of AI implementation into 4 quadrants. Now, as a math lover myself, I do love to see a 4 quadrant system. So let's talk about the 4 quadrants we're seeing. The first one is the underachievers. Now, obviously, with that term itself, that's not a place you want to be. Nobody is excited to be an underachiever. However, it is important that you define and recognize where you are. So you might be in this bucket. Define that, recognize it, and let's talk about how you can move to the other quadrants. The next one is for those starters. And then we've got path seekers, and we'll talk about what those mean in a second. And the last one up at the top is your transformers. Now, I am a movie fan, so I do love that this says Transformers. So secretly, I hope we all want to be there. Let's take a look what each of these mean on an individual level. So the underachievers, right? Doesn't sound nice. We may not want to be here, but again, transparency, honest. Where are you? These underachievers, these are going to be larger companies that are rapidly deploying AI. However, they may not have really fully integrated it and adopted it and really thought about what does this look like on a day-to-day for each of our employees, right? So maybe we're starting, but we're not really doing anything practical with it yet. And then next we have the starters. So does sound a little better than underachievers, right? But these people are still behind, right? And you might be in this bucket. So again, be transparent with yourself. Where are you? Starters may be behind in terms of deployment and outcomes, but we've had the opportunity to rapidly advance your learning curve by adopting practices and leaning into packaged solutions. So thinking of utilizing vendors that are not yourself, what other tools can you utilize specific to your industry and based on drivers of value in your personal organization? Next up, we've got the path seekers. So now we're leveling up. This group of individuals, they're achieving widespread value. So they've got AI deployed throughout their organization, and they're indicating on adopting what is proven in our industry, and what is really going to work for us. Each employee by each employee. So yes, we've got the whole organization, but when we break up an organization, we've got a lot of different roles and responsibilities. So common successes include cost reduction and efficiency. So there's that profitability and efficiency I mentioned earlier. So next step, we want to show what we're doing is working. We're talking revenue, right? We need to make sure at the end of the money, we are being profitable for our business. And that's where the transformers come in. So this is a group that has largely adopted practices associated with the strongest AI outcomes, and they're in the process of transforming and creating value across their entire organization. So many groups like this have moved beyond cost reduction, and now we're even talking about innovating products and generating actual revenue from AI. So this is not a quick path to get in by any means, right? So let's talk about, where do you actually start? First of all, where are you? As we walked through these, of those four, which one did you feel like you associated with most? If you're a note taker and you got your notebook out, go ahead and jot that down and keep that in your mind as we walk through these 7 killer prompts. And that is where we're going to start, because whether you are a underachiever or you're all the way on the top and you are a transformer, you've got to start somewhere. So my strong recommendation is that you put time on your calendar, intentional time, an hour a week, every single week, for you to have uninterrupted time for you personally to dive into AI and experiment in a safe manner about how you can utilize AI in your personal day to day. So let's talk about how some of that might be displayed in content marketing. First thing that I want you keeping in mind as we go through these prompts is AIO. I know just about everybody listening has definitely heard of SEO, right? Search engine optimization. And that's a change in. It would be foolish of us to pretend that generative AI and AI solutions global are not going to impact SEO. They are. So what does that mean for us as marketers? We need to stay in the game. If we think SEO is important, great. We should also think AIO is important. We shouldn't be just grabbing something that AI puts together in a blog and popping it up on our website. We need that human element. We need to make sure our brand voice is strongly recognized in our tone of our copy, in anything that we utilize AI for. We need to make sure we include that human element, and that is displayed in artificial intelligence optimization, or as I like to call it, AIO. So the first prompt I'm going to walk you through is how to generate some ideas for your inbound content marketing strategy. So the prompt that I have here, you'll see, is, can you write a list of 15 Big 5 blog articles about insert any topic that pertains to your industry? Now, earlier in my presentation, I mentioned that I am a content and video coach for a company called Impact. And at Impact, we hone and embrace and coach businesses to success with the principles of They Ask, You Answer. The Big 5 being one of those principles. So let's talk a little bit about what that is. And I've got a surprise for you at the end, that we've got a Big 5 challenge that is going to be free to you to get your AI train moving immediately after Demand 2023. So let's take a look how I actually utilized this prompt. So the first thing I said is, hey, can you write a list of Big 5 blog article titles for pricing software? I have a client who is in pricing software, so I wanted to see what this might generate for them. And it wasn't anything that was super awesome. But a few things I didn't do. Did I mention what the Big 5 were? Did I tell ChatGPT what Big 5 is? I certainly didn't. Your outputs, what you actually get, is only as good as what you put in. So let's try again. So what I said is, no, that wasn't what I was looking for. I apologize. Let me explain to you what the Big 5 is. Big 5 are 5 types of article topics that people search for. We're talking organic search, y'all. People search for when they are in consideration or the conversion stage of buying a product or a service from you. So those topics are as follows: Price, cost, talk about it on your website. Remove the friction for your customers. Give them the info they need to qualify themselves, to shorten your sales cycle and free up your salespeople to have more in-depth, meaningful conversations instead of always having to land on talking about price. Get in front of it. So that's cost. Problems. What problems are in your industry? Talk about them. Other people are, so you might as well. Best of. What are the best of lists that you can think of in your industry? Top tips, best tips. Also, there's reviews with generative AI coming out, and I shouldn't say coming out, already out and continuing to be thrusted upon us. Customer testimonials and honest, transparent customer reviews are going to be a massive trust builder. They already are, and they will continue to grow even stronger in the eyes of our end user. And then the last one, comparisons. Do you have products or services you can compare in your industry? Do you have other companies that you can compare in your industry? Your end users are searching for that information. You deserve to give them that information and start building that relationship of trust with your end users. So we took this and we put this into ChatGPT to train it. And I said, with this new info, can you write a list of big 5 blog article titles about home renovations? So I switched up the client I was working with this time. One difference I also did is I gave it the amount that I was looking for. Big 5, 15 of them. I want 15 of those titles. And it did it. I wouldn't use all of these if I'm being honest, right? We still have to have that human element. So that human element, have I done my keyword research? Do I know that this really is what my target audience is looking for? Are these the real queries that they are typing in? Have I dove into SEMrush, Moz, Ahrefs, whatever your tool of choice is? Have I utilized Google Analytics and Google Search Console to really target what my real customers are diving into? That's that AIO element, right? So we've got to have that. Utilizing this during your hour of experimentation time throughout your work week. So would I use all of these? I wouldn't. I would use a lot of them though. And that was so quick. It took me literally like 2 minutes to go through training my tool. And I got some pretty decent results. Now, one thing I will say is I wanted to circle back around and see, I did pricing software to start. So I wanted to see if it would crank out some usable titles for pricing software, and it did. So guess what I did? Right in ChatGPT, whatever version you have, you can save those conversations. Heck, you can even press edit and title them. Do that. So you don't have to have that training conversation every time you log in to ChatGPT, right? Make it easier on yourself. Train them the first time. Save that combo so it's quicker the second time around. Now, another thing you can do other than utilizing ChatGPT is ChatGPT is just the littlest start. A lot of people, when they think of AI, they think, oh, ChatGPT. I know what that is. And they're not wrong. ChatGPT is obviously AI, but there is so much more that you can utilize. So specifically, we have a tool called our blog about tool, and this will crank out for you once you put your keyword in one of all of the big 5 for you, and you can regenerate that list until your heart desires. So I encourage you to check that out. It's free, and I always say if it's free, it's for me. So go ahead and give it a try. It costs you nothing, and it's going to save you time. Let's dive into prompt 2. So we talked about written content ideas. What about video? A lot of us have learning centers. A lot of us have blogs to educate our end users, and video is such a powerhouse to build trust. So they see who we are and we are humanized. We're not just the salesperson or the marketer on the other side of the Zoom screen, right? We're a real person and we're starting to build that trust. So create a video script based on the video 6. There's another one of those they ask you answer principles. But what did I not do here? Did I train this on what the video 6 is? I sure didn't. So let's take a look at what happened when I didn't train it. I got results that I didn't want. So obviously I had to train it. In fact, what it did push out is it just pushed out like 6 suggestions for videos that I could use for a certain blog that I popped in, which makes sense because I didn't actually explain what the video 6 was. Think about it. If we were in a conversation together and I said, hey, go ahead and write me a outline using the video 6 structure. you might be like, Briana girl, what is the video 6 structure? And that would be super justified because I didn't tell you. So I went ahead and explained this to ChatGPT on what I meant. What I also did is I asked the question again. When you're including links, re-ask the question, resend the link, right? Don't let ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using get lost in its own thoughts. I know that might sound a little goofy, but give it reminders just as you would with a regular human, okay? So went ahead and trained it, and I got better responses. Now, some of these weren't quite as spot on as I would want, but this is just an outline. It's not necessarily a full script, right? And save that convo, right? Train your tool, save your convo so you can use it again with another article. Go ahead and label that convo the video 6, right? Or you can utilize a tool that could do this for you. So like I mentioned, ChatGPT is just a start. Open up, put some time on your calendar, start exploring with other tools. You deserve it. You deserve to know more about AI, and you deserve to level up your abilities as a marketer. So Tube Spanner is a tool that I really like. There's a lot that you can do in this tool. Specifically though, I love their scripting because it really does follow very closely the they ask you answer video 6 structure. Not quite exactly, but it's pretty dang close. And I found that the human element, the AIO, coming in and fact checking and making sure this really sounds like my company's brand voice, I don't have to do as much editing. So if it's a little less work and I can get that done in a more efficient manner while still having high quality, heck yeah, sign me up. So Tube Spanner, go ahead and try it out. That is a tool I recommend everybody gets their hands on. Prompt 3, still on video, we've got our outline. We need it to be a script, right? So please create a video script based on the video 6 structure. I've already trained my tool on the video 6 structure. This video script should represent the product from the product page linked below. Put your product page that's linked below. Now, another thing I added, this video script should be comprehensive, right? I want my end user to be able to learn something from this. Should be comprehensive, unbiased, of course, unbiased. We're building trust. We don't need our opinions mixed in there for our customers. Let them make those opinions. And tell viewers who this product is a good fit for and who it's not. Because let's be honest, when we're in our research phase for any product or service, that's the info we're looking for, right? So let's remove that friction, build trust, and give our consumers what they need to self-qualify for our industry. So I said, please create a video script based on the video 6 structure. This video script should represent the product from the product page link below, and I included that product link. Now, I'm a runner. I love running and I love Brooks running shoes. So I needed some new shoes, and I truthfully wanted to see what I could get from ChatGPT in terms of me as a consumer. And it gave me some decent stuff to work with. So it gave me a teaser. But if you look at this, it says, are you looking for a reliable and comfortable road running shoe? If you do take time to learn about what the video 6 is, you will know that in that teaser, that's our second to grab our viewer and assure them that they are in the right spot. They're on the right video that's going to give them the right info they need for the question that they're looking to answer. So I was pretty impressed by what this cranked out. I thought it was usable and I didn't have to add too much of that human element. And specifically what I liked is it broke things down exactly as I asked it to. So it talked about design and future features, comfort and fit, who's it for, who's it not for, but specifically the CTA. Loved that. If you're interested in the Brooks Revel 6 women's road running shoe, head over to insert their website and learn more and purchase your pair. I love that they said learn more. Education, educating that end user, building trust so they can make those decisions and qualify on their own. Now, the last thing they said, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more product reviews and running tips. Again, education, building trust with your end user. So leaving your viewers wanting more and knowing they can come back to you to get the content and the education that they need. Prompt 4, SEO. So can you write a list of 15 big 5, but also act as an SEO specialist? Analyze that link, make improvement suggestions. Tell me what I can fix. So I asked it just that. But of course, I wanted to put my company to the test. So we put our homepage in there and it had some great responses. And I will tell y'all, I did this a couple months ago and we have implemented those and they're working really, really well for us. What I did find though is some of this wasn't as specific as I wanted it to be. So ask the next question. Keep going. Don't settle on the first response you get. Train your AI tool to know exactly what you're looking for. If it's not as specific as you want, ask it to be more specific. Ask it to clarify, because it will. I also asked it to make a comparison. So an issue and a solution in table form, and it did, which is fantastic. So I love that you can ask and you can receive when you're detailed. Your outputs are only as good as your inputs. Prompt 5, customer objections. We all get them. We don't like them, but we all get them, so we got to deal with them. Identify 5 customer objections for insert your product or service link. Now, specifically, insert a link that is live. I don't think I've said that before, but insert live links for ChatGPT specifically. I found that if I insert, say, like a working Word doc or a working Google doc, it doesn't quite read it correctly. There's a little bit of coding error there. So make sure this is a live product page and make sure on that product page you are mentioning, I'm going to say it again, price. Talk about price on your website. Your customers deserve that info, and your salespeople deserve to have their sales cycle shortened and have those conversations get deep into the weeds of the real objections aside from price. So talk about price so that it can be utilized in this prompt and utilized with ChatGPT when you ask it to actually give you some responses to customer objections. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it cranked out. I asked for objections for a certain tumbler that I personally was looking to purchase. I will let you know I did not end up purchasing this one. But the objections that it went through, price, that's the first thing it started with, because price is, generally speaking, one of the highest and most trafficked part of websites, but also biggest objection in a sales cycle, regardless of the industry. So they talked about the price being too high. Another thing they talked about was the temperature. Is it going to keep my drink hot? Is it going to keep it cold? What's the design? What does it look like? Do I like it? I don't know. Will it leak? Will it spill? What if I toss it in my bag and it falls over? What's going to happen there? That's a real question, right? And then the last thing is, how much water can this hold? Am I going to hit my daily water intake with this one? I want to know that, right? So gave me all the info I needed. And truthfully, I did use that info to ultimately decide I wasn't going to purchase that one. And I do that all the time. So you can use this for professional use, but heck, use it for personal use too. All right, unbiased comparisons. So we've got objections, but we also need to compare some of our products, right? When we have people in that decision stage, they might be deciding between 2 products or 2 services. So utilize this prompt to compare and ask for a table comparison. Look at that. It gave me everything I needed, and it truthfully did help me make a decision here. So these were around different walking desks. I was looking to get a walking desk, and this is a great comparison. Y'all, I haven't found my walking desk yet, but I'm on a mission, and it wasn't either of these two, but this was very helpful for me as that end user. And it went on and gave me a conclusion at the end. So overall, here's what you need to know to make a final decision on your actual buying decision. All right, last one, and this is my favorite. Ask me. Do with this what you please. Please ask me all the questions you need to help me insert task. What are you trying to do? Utilize ChatGPT not only as your personal assistant, but as your dang business coach. It is scouring the internet, utilizing all that info, consuming it so it can be better for you. That includes info around coaching. Take advantage of it. I said, please ask me all the questions you need to help me figure out where to direct my content marketing efforts. These are questions that I would ask in a coaching conversation with a client. I was very impressed here, y'all. And I asked, please ask me all the questions you need to help drive more organic traffic to my website. Another example. Great feedback. One more. How to be a better leader for my company. Again, great questions to focus the next steps. So you may be thinking, yeah, Briana, this sounds great, but I'm kind of nervous to start this on my own. And you're not alone. AI is a big deal. It's here. It is here to stay. We need to embrace it. We need to put time on our calendars, and we need to learn, what does this look like for us? So I've got a treat for you. For a whopping $0, as I said before, if it's free, it's for me. So if you feel that same way too, utilize this QR code. And what you're going to get from me is a new prompt with an explainer tutorial from me once a week for the next 5 weeks. So focusing on the big five, one of those they ask you answer principles, but specifically for your industry to drive revenue and traffic to your website. So I hope you enjoyed our time today. Reminder, start where you are. Where are you on that 4-quadrant system? Set aside intentional time to explore and learn for you in your day-to-day. And train your AI to sound like you. And remember, save those combos so you don't have to go back through that training conversation time and time again.